Friends and subscribers, this news coming out of Shenzhen next to Hong Kong. Woman caught smuggling 3 kilos of gold in her bra. Difficult to believe, but true. The woman was caught recently at the border smuggling gold bars from Hong Kong back into the mainland. Now, many of you may know that the price of gold in Hong Kong is less expensive than in the mainland, and the taxes are much lower, so many people now are smuggling gold into the mainland from Hong Kong, and that's where a lot of the shortages are coming from. Are people trying to flip precious metals and make money by reselling them in the mainland, and doing so quite frequently. Some of the smugglers do it on a daily basis, and if they do it enough, they can make a pretty decent living off it. This comes on the heels of a man that was caught smuggling 4 kilos of gold in his shoes. Border officials said that he looked suspicious and was walking awkwardly, and they stopped him, checked his shoes, and found that he had 4 kilos of .999 gold from Hong Kong.
自己諗住賺返一筆，佢喺自己對波鞋裡面裝咗4條金條，總共係有8斤咁重，價值120萬。不過由於啲金條實在太重啦。
Her figure was a little bit awkward, meaning that she was enhanced in the bust area coming back into Shenzhen, and that wasn't the case when she went into Hong Kong. Now, this is going on all over the world. This is not just something that is just happening here. India, Switzerland, and Germany, the border there, and probably the border in many other European countries, we're finding people being persecuted for having gold and not paying the proper taxes. I think there'll come a day when they flat out will try to increase the taxes or confiscate gold. As you may know, the Federal Reserve does not like competition, and gold and silver, precious metals, are the competition that the Fed knows they cannot beat. And the movement into hard assets like gold is prompting officials to take action to combat this rather than going into paper assets. There's a new story there with the man smuggling 4 kg of gold in his shoes. What used to be iPhones and other electronic devices is now things like gold, baby milk. Because of the milk scare here in China, many families are trying to get imported baby milk through Hong Kong without paying taxes. And so it may be time to get your house in order and think about how you're going to take your precious metals to and from, and where you're going to store them at. Recently, a friend of a friend had gone through customs here in China and noticed that the customs officials were checking his change in his pockets to see what kind of metal they were. So it's getting more and more difficult. I haven't been through the border in some time, but when I do, I'll try to report to you on what happens. But it does make me a little bit nervous that they would be checking the change in your pocket. Now, as far as legislation goes, there's new legislation that is going to be on the way. I'm going to try to do a video here coming up on the best way to store precious metals, how to store them, what are the risks and rewards of storing them offshore, and hopefully I'll get more time to do that. But we're going to see a lot more of this. We're going to see gold bullion being treated like drugs, and people being persecuted for holding gold as they would holding recreational illegal drugs.